This episode is brought to you by Anivia Pickleball, your premier destination for high-quality pickleball paddles designed to elevate your game. At Anivia, they are committed to providing players across Canada with innovative, performance-driven pickleball paddles crafted for durability, precision, and ease of play. Irene and myself are currently using their Gen 3 Pro paddle, and if you head over to anivia.com and enter the code AGorman15, you get 15% off your order. That's AGorman15 at anivia.com. All right, on with the show. All right, welcome back, everyone. We have a lot to talk about. How's it going, Vic?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it has been good. Tired after how many game I ref? I think I ref 56 games this weekend.
Oof, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, so we have a lot of minor league pickleball stuff, a lot of CNPL stuff to go through. But first, we're gonna go with a local tournament, Luck of the Irish, which Vic was just talking about ref and that. So, Vic, how did that tournament go?
So there's good things and there is bad things, obviously from every tournament. So I'll go for the good things. So good things is because it's this time Luck of the Irish is in the race athletic facility, so it means they do have access to more courts. And means they do not have to cap the number of participants like the previous years. So this year they do have about 250 participants that they're able to play on the courts, and then they can actually almost accommodate for every category and age category if necessary. So which is very good. The other thing is, if people that had played the previous years of the Luck the Irish, well, you do not have the fence like the fences that is too close, or you're playing on a polished concrete surface with indoor balls and some makeshift tape for the courts. Now you're at race, so it means you have a proper pickleball court facility with a proper pickleball surface and a proper space in between courts. So which is fairly good. Now, however, I go for the downside. So obviously, I wasn't playing. I was just refereeing during the tournament. Couple downside is the washroom. Definitely, I need to rant about the washroom. Like, come on, like, sorry, Grace. Like, since November. Like, you have the facility opening since November. Why you're still not having a proper washroom facility? So like on the singles day on Friday wasn't a big deal because usually there's less participant on the singles day. So what they have at Race Athletic, they have like a kind of like a trailer washroom, temporary washroom that they put up, but they only have one female side and one men's side, right? On singles, it was okay. Yeah, there was little lined up, but it's not too bad. But then when it comes to the mix doubles and the genders doubles, then that's a problematic. You have so much more players, and now there is a lot of lineups in between. And on top of that, where you have a lot of people using it, obviously they will clog up the sewage, and there you go. And on Sunday, yesterday, there is some lapse of time the washroom was out of action. So yeah, that was definitely a little annoying on this part. Other things, I would say that might not because it is more the software glitches. So the pickleball tournament did have some glitches during the weekend. So a lot of bracket got pushed beyond their advertised time. So example, on Friday, I did finish on supposed to be finished at 10 o'clock at night. It did finish around midnight. On Saturday and Sunday, we both days supposed to be finished around that 4-5 o'clock, and we finish around that 7 o'clock time frame. So that was a little annoying for player side and for referee side also on this part. Other thing that I will say that was more into the tournament things as a referee is there is not enough referee this time. They wanted to ref all the matches, but we do not have enough referee to try to go have like kind of like a rotation break or something. So basically that's the reason why I have to ref all my matches. So which means the 56 matches that I did. It is unfortunate. That's the reason why we do encourage people if they want to be a referee to take on the clinic and become a referee. That will definitely ease up and help us out. We did a quick referee initiation, I think 2 weeks ago in Leduc, Alberta, which a bunch of those referees did come in to shadow us, my and Roger Carey as a certified referee to get more experience and to help us out in their matches. So which is great because if we didn't have them, we'll be even in the hole in the number of referee on top of them. So definitely this part was not the greatest. But other than that, the term still determined went very well. I want to congratulate Jesse Parks. He reached level 1 referee. So congrats to them. He passed his assessment for level 1 referee. So for other referee, continue on. You'll definitely make it if you put on some work to it.
Nice. Yeah, and as far as results went, no really surprises there. The higher levels was I don't want to say watered down, but there was only a couple of players, couple of teams there, and the people who won were kind of the people we expected to win with that. So.
Yeah, because just I'll say maybe I will also say there's the tournament fatigue, or maybe people not seeing the incentive of playing like the higher level playing tournaments anymore, because I can just play this guy at rec. I think that was the problematic, that we did not see that many teams on the higher level with the higher level players, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to hear us rant about that, just go to the last podcast where I went on for about 40 minutes about that.
Definitely.
Anyways, moving on to some super awesome news. So minor league pickleball, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, is the new gateway or the road to getting into the CNPL. So the CNPL showdowns, which me and Irene will be attending in Vernon on the 29th for one of them, they are now officially minor league pickleball events. So if you compete in them, you will actually get minor league pickleball points. So if you say finish first, you get X amount of points. And then if you go compete in another event, you get more points. And those points lead up, and the players with the highest points get invited to possibly play for like Team Canada at the World Cup, get to go to nationals, things like that. And there's prize money in all of these minor league pickleball events. There's prize packs from sponsors, things like that. And so speaking of the that, so for the minor league stuff that's not the CNPL showdown, so we have the Burnaby one in April at IHOP. Next is right here for us in Edmonton on the 19th of April at the Egg. And then we have Vaughan in Toronto area on the 26th of April at High Sports at their Vaughan location. So those are the first 3 minor league pickleball events that aren't showdowns. So make sure you get your teams in for that, because I think for all of those events, I know at least for the Edmonton one, it's only 8 teams per division. So it's all the way from like DUPR 14 to up to 20. I know it's up to 20 for the Egg one. It might be as far up as 22 for some of the other ones. Also, if you want the website, it's fullsendpickleball.com. Full Send is them with UE have been the powerhouses behind getting us minor league pickleball here in Canada. And if you go to their website now, it's a full page dedicated. They have the links to all of the events. So you just type in there, head there, and you can find all the events. All the events are also going to be on the Swift app, or Swift or Swish. I'm forgetting.
Swish.
Swish. Sorry.
Yeah, Swish.
Yeah, Swish app. So the for those of you who are used to pickleball brackets or the Flango that the CNPL used for their events, minor league pickleball is going to be using Swish. You can download the app, make a profile. You can even kind of have a team pre-made on there and sign up to the events that way. So make sure you get your teams in. Me and Vic are already going to be playing in the YAG one for Team Pickleball Diaries with Irene and Anya. So see if you can come take us on.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Oh yeah, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, you'll be ready. I'm going to make sure of it. Anyways, speaking of the showdown, so the one in Montreal happened last weekend. So shout out to the first place team, Spin City, which had returning pros Emily and Anne-Sophie Courteau on that. They basically went the entire tournament undefeated. And by looking at the scores, played awesome. Looking at some of the highlights that people posted on Instagram and stuff, they played really well. Second place team was had returning pros Mikhail Gamond and Antonia Tuskova, both who played for the Lions last year. They came in second place with their team. And then Louis Charles Amont, Jordan Vigna, and Sophia were on the Ravs P. They were in the bronze game. It hadn't updated if they won bronze or if they did just a split of the bronze game. I'm not sure how they were running for time, but also those three returning pros playing in that as well. So looked like it got off to a good start. You got the London Smash one on the 22nd of March, and then of course the one in Vernon on the 29th. The London one is sold out. There's like 24 teams in that one. Vernon right now we're up to 11 teams in that, so there's still room to get into that one if you want to come play against me and Irene. Brad Chapman and Kim Layton are going to be there. Joel Pelche, Michael McCaffrey, Casey Rogers, Matt Sadola. Those are just some of the pros that are have teams in that. So if you want to see how you'd handle playing some of the pros in rally scoring, it's a really good opportunity for that. So.
Definitely, that'll be fun. And when's the CNPL start? You say?
The draft is on the 4th of April.
Okay.
And don't forget to tune in with us on Instagram. Me and Victor are going to be doing a live watch along, so you can open up your YouTube app and watch the draft, and then react with us on the Instagram app for that one. We're getting ready to have that all set up. Let me pull it up here really quickly here for the actual dates for everything.
Is it on May, the first?
I want to say it got
event?
pushed till May. Yes. Regular season. There we go. All right, regular season. Yeah, so May 17th and 18th. And that's going to be in Ontario. That one's co-hosted by the Southwestern Ontario Brewers. Next event is June 7th and 8th in Montreal, and that's obviously co-hosted by the Lions. Then we got the Good Games midseason event in Guelph. That's on June 27th, 28th, and 29th. So far, that's listed as it's not going to count towards the regular season, so I got a feeling that's going to be more of a showcase event. But obviously, it'll still be broadcasted. We'll still get some really good games. It'll be interesting to see maybe if they do like an all-star thing or if they combine teams and stuff like that. We'll see how that goes. Then August 9th and 10th is in Kamloops, BC, co-hosted by the Vancouver Rush. At least that's what it says so far for them. And then September 6th and 7th, back in Toronto for the Metropolitan Split. That's the new split they've added, and that's co-hosted by Toronto United. And then the playoffs will start October 4th and 5th. Still TBD for the location for that one. So,
Gotcha.
So extended season this year, which is awesome. And then, of course, you're going to have the minor league pickleball stuff on top of that. So we're going to have lots of extra content. We get the it's basically like we're covering the NHL and the AHL at the same time. So this will be fun for me and Vic.
Definitely. That will be fun for us.
But yeah, so and we had the other big news. DUPR officially became the rating system of the CNPL. So they've partnered with the CNPL. So DUPR is not taking over, but is basically now the featured ranking system. So all the CNPL matches now are actually going to go on DUPR. They're going to count towards DUPR ratings. Same thing with minor league pickleball. All those games will count towards your DUPR rating and stuff like that. So and this kind of will lead into what we're going to talk about in a couple minutes here with ratings and stuff like that. But it's great to see that we finally got DUPR to like officially partner. Like they were using DUPR before, kind of like for stats keeping and stuff like that with the CNPL, but it wasn't like officially a partner. Now it's like officially a partner. It's officially plugging money into the event, so that's more money coming in for the athletes. Which offers up more opportunities for players and all that stuff, more opportunities for them to be able to do extra stuff at the venues. Yui, I'm still waiting for a merch shop at the venue so I can actually get some CNPL swag, right? So think about that. But yeah, how are you looking at that, Vic?
Definitely makes more sense, right? Because those are if this is the Canadian pick professional league, right? You want to be getting count like all those matches. You need to be like taking counted for, right? Otherwise, like what's the point on playing those matches, right? That will also push other people's incentive to play on those tournament.
Exactly, right? Because like I know if you look at right now, if you look at some of our pros, because they don't necessarily play a lot of DUPR matches, I think I have a higher ranking on DUPR than a couple of our pros, even though I know for sure I'm not as good as them, right? So, and a bunch of them played in the CNPL last year, and because those matches didn't officially count towards DUPR stats, regardless as if and we saw some really big upsets last year. If you had if you had gotten some of those DUPR points from those upsets, you'd see a lot more of those pros up in the high fives or up in closer to 6 and stuff. Because right now, like people used to say, like 5 is the pro ranking. I'm sorry, it's more like 5.5, closer to 6. Like if you look at like Ben Johnson, Annalie Waters, what are they up in like the 7s now?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, Ben Johnson's into the 7s. Andalese still not at the 7s. It was a little odd. They always put the female slightly down, but she should be on the 7. And that's I think the problem with DUPR a little bit is because they don't like they have their flaws, right? Yes, they have a DUPR double ranking, but there is not like a mixed ranking because in theory, if you look at Annalie Waters and Ben Johns, if you just count their mix, they should be even at the probably 8 or not even 9 in DUPR because technically no one beat them.
Yeah. Well, and Annalie doesn't, like, aside from last week, Annalie doesn't lose in women's either very often. So.
Yeah, like it will happen to lapse to lose one or two, but like if you look at the whole freaking whole season in as a whole, like they are basically unbeatable.
Yeah, right. So like so like when we look at DUPR ratings now, like when someone says, "Oh, I'm a 5," I'm like, "Okay, you're a really good player. You're possibly like becoming a pro or like a low level pro." But like we're looking at pros now, like you're up in the 6s, you're up
Oh yeah,
like 6, 6.5. Like once you're getting into like those top 10 in PPA, you're at like 6.5 and above type of deal.
yeah.
So
You
yeah,
need
like
to
from
be at
5.5
least. Yeah, I would say you need to be at least 6'5" plus in order to maybe make a couple of games into the PPA qualifiers, like as a almost like it's not a requirement, but I will say that's almost like a requirement if you want to kind of win some matches and maybe made it to the main draw.
Yeah, and that just shows how far pickleball is progressing just over these last couple of years. Because I know a couple years ago, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, 5, you're a pro," right?
Well, right
Like it
now,
was
5,
now,
you're not gonna
yeah,
survive, unfortunately.
no, yeah, 5. Yes, you're gonna win majority of those 4, 5, and up open tournaments and stuff like that. But when you try your hand at the pro level, you're like, put it this way: when me and Irene played in the NAPP, one of the guys we played against in our first match was a 6. So, so right, so that's where you're at right now. So like 5.5 is kind of like like 5 to 5.5, you can consider like high level player / low level, just starting out pro. That, and this is of course once DUPR is utilized to its fullest, where it's being used for everything, not just the pro events, not just a couple tournaments here and there. Like, I can see, I want to see DUPR, like, yes, it has its flaws, but right now it's the one that kind of works the best out of all the ranking systems. So realistically, I think everyone should just kind of adopt DUPR, and every tournament, regardless of whether it's sanctioned or not, should use it. And the nice thing with pickleball.com now, if a match is on there, unless the organizers specifically say, click the thing where this will not affect your DUPR rating, which no organizer in their right mind would do. It's going to go on your DUPR anyways. So at this point, it's almost, I don't want to say it's putting sanctioned tournaments to the wayside, because I think sanctioned tournaments should still have some type of validity, whether they're worth more points or whatever. But like with the way it is right now, everyone kind of just needs to adopt DUPR into this. And yes, like I said, it has its flaws, but if we all adopt the one system, it's easier to fix that one system than having one system that, say, 70% of everyone uses, and then the other 30% use this other system, and then both have their flaws, but now because neither of them are popular enough, they don't get fixed, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, so CNPL does have some paddle stuff. So how about, Vic, we jump into a paddle corner for you, because there is some paddles getting banned in the CNPL. Take it away.
Yeah. All right. So basically, CNPL did announce that they're gonna kick in the sunsetting from the USAP the paddles on July 1st, but they're gonna actually apply it automatically. So which one you cannot use are obviously the Yola Perseus Martier 15, both on the 14 and 16 millimeter version, and then you have also the Gearbox Pro Power, only the elongated version. So keep that in mind. So if you get the Pro Power, but if you get the Fusion version, which is like the semi elongated, you're fine. So that's a loophole. So I'll, if you don't quote me on it, if you want to have do a loophole, here we go. I give you advice. I accept PayPal. I don't, right? Or you can give me a paddle. And then the older Pro Kinetics Black Case version, not the newest, right? The newest that they came in are allowed is the older version, the Black Case Ovation Pro LG and the XF. So those are the paddles that won't be allowed at the CNPL event at this point. Don't know if the minor league pickleball also follows suit. It does not look like it. So if you're playing in Edmonton or in Vancouver or at high sport, you probably still be able to use those paddle. I'm not sure if the minor league will allow the UPAA paddle, so that'll be a question to be asked. We'll see. We'll try to seek more clarification for those. But at this point, I will say that you're allowed to use whatever that paddle that's on the USAP approved list. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any other new paddles to talk about, Vic, or did you finally get burned through them all?
Well, yeah, definitely. I need to talk about. I did got another paddle, but I'm still in the testing phase, so I'm not. I won't be sharing my final thoughts soon on Instagram, but I'm still testing it. So I got the new very very high soft paddle called the 11624 Power Series. I got the what was the one that I got? I got the Hirachi versions, which is the elongated paddle. It's okay. It's that, like, it's the power on it because of the Gen 3 construction with the foam. But I was like, I don't know. I was expecting more power. I come expecting more. At the same time, it was not very expensive. It's like into the 160, 170 US dollars. So which is a good, like a good price, but I was kind of expecting more, or maybe I was having too high of an expectation. So but I'm still kind of drawing with this paddle. So I will definitely share more thoughts when I finally gather more of my thoughts. However, the other paddle that I did talk about last time, now I can give you my final thoughts a little bit more about this paddle. This one, the nice Proton Flamingo Series 3. So obviously it looks nice. It's not a very good looking paddle, but playability is pretty good. It has a very is pretty greedy, which here is fairly greedy paddle. So spin is super nice on this paddle. Power, that's a little caveat because it's a Gen 3 paddle, so which has a dual edge foam inside the paddle. It does has a breaking period. So when I first played with this paddle, it felt like I was like, yeah, okay, it has decent power, but it's not like mod like the Yola mod power or the Yola 3S power level. It was like, yeah, it was okay, but nothing jumps out like saying, oh, this is a super poppy paddle, super powerful paddle. Then it's starting to loosen up, and then I was starting that paddles really seem to be getting harder and harder and harder. At a point right now, I feel this paddle is it feels very fairly good into my hands. Okay, still nowhere near close at the mod or the 3S level power. Like it's really controllable pop and really controllable power at this point. So which I really enjoyed it. Couple of caveat with this paddle is, first of all, very high swing weight. It's on the 127. So for people that does not know this number, most of the paddle you want to be around the 115 to 120 ish swing weight, because a lot of people put more emphasis into this as stock weight of the paddle. Like, is this 7.8 ounces? Is it 8.2 ounces? But the problem is swing weight matter even more than your static weight, because the swing weight will dictate how fast you can move your paddles, and how much effort you can have to use in order to, like, let's say I'm from a blocking position, I want to move it to the other way, how fast I can move it towards the other side, and how much effort I need to put on in order to move it to the other side. So this paddle is super high into the 127. So when you have a paddle that's super heavy, it's very difficult to customize. You cannot really put more lead tip on it. If you put even more lead tip on it, you're gonna increase the swing weight even higher. So that's the thing with this paddle. This paddle says 15 millimeters, so it's like in between the 14 and 16 millimeter. Has a very high twist weight, so twist weight is at 7.6. Another metric that people is not getting used to was the twist weight. The higher the twist weight you get, the more when you place a paddle at a static position, when it hits the ball, it does not like twist the paddle, so it is more stable. Sometimes it does also translate. It has a bigger sweet spot, so it means if you hit more beyond that center of the paddle, you hit it more on the side, it still have a little bit more energy feedback on for this paddle. And indeed, this paddle is a very, very stable paddle. One more disadvantage of this paddle is super expensive. Is in almost into the $300 US dollar, and is out of stock. Right, and that's the problem, right? You have a hype paddle, but it's out of stock. That's not helping. Right, you can if you can't buy it. There's some latest new development on the Proton, if you have heard that the Proton had apparently someone filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Proton, but it was clarified at the end it wasn't. It's not Proton that filed bankruptcy. It's some malicious intent people that file a bankruptcy against Proton. So it's kind of like really weird. But we did have confirmation that Proton is not bankrupt at all, and so they will be continue be able to support and get more paddles in. And anyway, it does not make sense that Proton is going on bankrupt, because if you know, the company of Proton, they actually doesn't just make pickleball paddles. They actually a baseball bat manufacturer that actually added pickleball in their repertoire in as their company. So it was a little odd when I saw people posting about the Chapter 11 bankruptcy on them. So it was kind of interesting.
Nice. All right, and then we have, I apologize in advance, I'm starting to think I'm sounding like either Steve Dangle or Sid Sixero with my rants on stuff with Pickleball Canada right now. But Pickleball Canada just released an email out to everyone. So if you're signed up with your Pickleball Canada, like if you renewed your Pickleball Canada number, you should have gotten this email where they're talking about the CTPR rating. I'm going to briefly read a bit of it here, just to kind of get so everyone gets the gist of it. So it's basically saying that Pickleball Canada created the CTPR model as a structured, standardized process for making for rankings and stuff. The goal was to ensure fairness, consistency, data-driven accuracy, blah blah blah. But basically, because it goes into several factors have contributed to this causing frustration. So a lack of sanctioned tournaments, because of course you only get your CTPR goes up or goes down only if it's a Canada sanctioned tournament. So like, for example, in Alberta here, what do we have? 4? We have the 2 Spruce Grove ones, Red Deer Open, and provincials.
No, we
I
have
guess
more.
the luck of the Irish, 5.
Irish is one, and St. Albert's another one too.
Yeah. And so so we got 6,
we
have 6 here in Alberta, but and that's probably a lot compared to a lot of other provinces, because we do have some Alberta does have one of the higher the more active pickleball communities as far as like tournaments go. But so a lack of sanctioned tournaments in some areas across the country, making it difficult for a player to post enough results to get their CTPR up. And of course you have snowbirds who go down to the US, not participating in these events, but they're playing in the US all year, come back and they're ranked like a 3-0, but technically they've been playing at a 4-5 level in the States, right? So what Pickleball Canada has decided to do is they're doing this. Vic's already laughing at this. They are doing a review process. So you can now, under this pilot project, if you believe your CTPR rating is not accurate, you can submit a ratings review, and then they provide the link, right? So they've put together a whole team to get this ratings review thing in, and you can send it. I haven't clicked the link yet to see what they're asking, but I'm assuming they're going to ask for like, what you've done at other tournaments and things like that, and like you have to basically state your case of why your ranking isn't where it's supposed to be. Now, I have to ask a question. What are we doing? Seriously, like I understood the reasoning for the CTPR like 5 years ago, right? Like, pickleball was just starting off. Everyone was really into being a sanctioned tournament. Like, I can honestly say, like, I probably went to 7+ sanctioned tournaments within my first year of playing competitively for pickleball. But now it's like, there's not enough. It costs extra. Depending on the level of sanctioned tournament you're having, you have to have a certain amount of refs there. For example, like Vic was saying, at Luck of the Irish, technically they didn't have enough refs to do what they wanted to do, right? Because what is it? Level 1 sanctioned at bare minimum, your medal matches have to be refed, Vic.
Yeah, as a bare minimum.
Yeah, right. And then like level 2, I think it's as far down as like the quarterfinals or something
Yep.
around that.
When you're into playoff rounds, you need for level 2, you need to have at at, at least in we call playoffs, so quarters, obviously.
Yeah, and then like level 3 obviously would be like nationals or provincials where every match is supposed to be refereed. One, as Vic so perfectly stated earlier when talking about Luck of the Irish, there's not enough refs for that most of the time. You're lucky to get enough for provincials and nationals majority of the time, and luckily because there's we're getting a few more level 3s now in Canada. We can pay for their way and stuff to get there. But aside from that, a lot of these places, especially privately owned pickleball facilities, why are they going to spend extra money to become a sanctioned tournament when people are going to come anyways?
Exactly.
Right? It doesn't make sense anymore to have this rating in place. And also because we have so many people who go down and play in the States, we have so many people who go to other places and play. There's so many tournaments going on. As I was talking about DUPR before, just switch to DUPR. Stop trying to hang on to something that's not relevant anymore. Like this, I can honestly say, as much as I appreciate the effort that these people who worked on this group to make this trial run happen, it's a waste of their efforts because only so many people are going to respond and get their thing bumped up. Some people are going to be content to be sandbaggers because they went down and played in the States. They're like a 4-5 or a 5-0 in DUPR, and they're going to play in a 3-5 sanctioned CTPR tournament and win the gold by blowing everybody out like 11-2. Like, for example, my CTPR is a 3.6. My DUPR rating is a 4.7, right? So technically, if I want to, I could go to every sanctioned tournament this year and play in 3-5. And that's not fun. And for me, that's not fun. Like me blowing everybody out is not fun. It's different if I just moved up to a level and I happen to go on fire and blow people out, then that's just, hey, kudos to me for training so hard in the wintertime. Right. But I had to prove it first. But I've already won provincials at 3-5. I've already won tournaments at 3-5. I've already won a bronze at nationals at 4-0. Why would I play in a 3-5 tournament? Or why would I play at the 3-5 level in a tournament? Right. Like, it doesn't make sense. Especially now, like everything, all the tournaments are on Pickleball Brackets or pickleball.com, whatever you want to call it, since they merged.
Pickleball
And
tournament,
everything is now uploaded to DUPR. Right?
It's
Like,
called pickleball tournament. Basically, everything is merged into pickleball tournament. Even though you try to click on pickleball bracket, it's gonna go to pickleballtournaments.com.
yeah, and it basically merged their things because I know if you're creating a tournament, it uses the pickleball bracket like system to like make the tournament and stuff like that, but it uses pickleball tournaments for other things and stuff like that. So like besides that with the website itself, but everything is now automatically uploaded to DUPR because it's all linked together now. Like my DUPR shot up because like I hadn't played in a bunch of DUPR tournaments until last year. So my DUPR when I first started was like a 3, even though my CTPR was like a 4.2 or like a 3.6, sorry. But then and that's only from the sanctioned tournaments, even though I had played in a bunch of tournaments that weren't sanctioned. Once all those got uploaded to DUPR, all of a sudden I shoot up to a 4.7, which is realistically what I'm about at because I've been playing in 4 or 5 tournaments. I've been, if not winning, podium at 4 or 5 tournaments. I've played in a couple opens and done really well there as well. So it's at this point, it doesn't make sense to hang on to this rating. Talk to DUPR, get them to do some type of sponsorship or partnership with Pickleball Canada and just make DUPR the official rating of Canada. It makes more sense. It's like the official rating in like China. It's like the official rating in a bunch of other like Asian countries over there. It's not quite the official rating in the States, but any major event, it's basically the official rating. Like anything that matters. So like the PPA, the APP, they're all using DUPR. Like every major pro level event and pro/amateur event is already using DUPR for their rating system. So stop hanging on to something that is basically irrelevant now. And like I said, this is not a shot at the people who tried to develop this thing, like at the team, because I'm sure these people put in lots of hours to try and come up with this. But let's be real, it would have been much easier to get on the phone, call DUPR up, and say, "Hey, like, do you want to partner with Pickleball Canada? Basically, DUPR's not going to say no to that because now you get the entire nation. Like the second largest pickleball playing nation in the world right now, next to the States, is Canada. So they're not going to say no to that. And in fact, that means Canada would have beaten the US to that. Like Canada would have beaten the USAP to having DUPR as its official rating system. Like, I like it for me, like, and like we said, DUPR is not perfect. There is issues with it. There's still ways for people to kind of screw around the system, but honestly, most of it's screw around the system to get your rating up. But then you go to a tournament and then you'll just get your ass kicked if you're not actually at that rating. Right. So if anything, now it gets rid of, if anything, it kind of gets rid of sandbagging, but it allows for like lower levels to play up probably when they shouldn't. But then that's their own fault. If like you want to be a 2 games and done out at a tournament because you want to bump your DUPR rating up just so you can play in the 5-0, or realistically you should still be playing like 4-0 or 4-5. That's your choice. Right? That's your waste of money, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
So for me, like, I appreciate the effort, but let's get our head out of the sand here. Call up DUPR, get them to be the nationwide rating system for Canada. One, that's more money coming in because then you get a paid sponsorship or partnership or whatever with them. You get their name plastered on everything, like at every event. And like, because like I said, the CTPR thing, like, it's so hard to even just to go find your rating now on the website. Like, you have to go through like 6 different links to to find your rating. And like they got rid of the mixed. They said, oh, we're getting rid. Like they sort of copied different. Said, okay, we're not going to have a mixed and a genders doubles rating. We're just going to have one. But unlike where DUPR merged it, they just got rid of your mixed and just kept your gender. Because like, for example, on the CTPR, because I had played more mixed with Irene than I had played men's, my mixed rating was like a 4.4, and then my gender was a 3.6. So instead of merging the two and sticking me maybe like right at a 4, they just took away the mix and said, okay, you're a 3.6. So they didn't even merge it properly, right? So like for me, I'm just like, okay, like I can see, okay, go ahead and try this trial run. Be like, let's waste everyone's time for another year with this, and then bite the bullet and call up DUPR and get them to be the official rating system of Canada. Like, let's be honest here.
I'll be interested to see mine because can I see it online? Let's take a look on mine.
You have to go through like 4 different links, but yeah, you can definitely find it.
Yeah, let's take a look if I could.
You keep looking, Vic. I'll keep talking just so we don't have dead
Yeah,
air.
keep talking. I just because especially my if no one knows, I did play. I think I didn't play this year, and then anyway because of I have to do my certified referee and stuff like that. I haven't been playing that much anymore since because I was too focused on that. But it is what it is. I will try to get back up and once. And I have also my knee issue. Obviously, that's starting to get better. So I should be able to play more tournaments. But in anyway, that will. But if you, I'll see if I can find my rating. But my old CTPR, I think men's is 4.0. I made it to 4.0, but I'm mixed. I'm still like 3.4 or something. So technically, I can still send back at mix at 3.0, something like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they would have kept you at 4 then if they did the same as what they did to me then. But I think you got to go into your profile. You have to go to clubs. You have to select like Pickleball Canada and go that way. But it's like 4 extra steps to go find this. Whereas all you got to do for your DUPR is click on your profile and it's right there. And they have all of your stats, like how many gold medal matches have you been in, how many, what's your record after if you've won the first set. I found that really cool. Do you want to know what Irene's record is if she won the first set?
No.
59-1.
Wow, that's good.
I was like, holy crap. I was like, so yeah, the way to beat Irene is don't let her win the first set, basically. Like, holy crap. But yeah, like DUPR has all that already. They have those stats there for you. Like, I'm like,
Oh, I
you
found it.
already you found
I
it?
found I found it. They actually, yeah, they merged. I think now my doubles rating is 3.9, so I cannot send back at 3 anymore. But
Yeah.
in singles, I'm still 3.25 apparently.
Yeah. And I know he's not that.
Yeah, I can play 3-0 in singles. It'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so you see what I mean? Like, it's not like just for Vic, like it took like 3 minutes there just for Vic to go find his CTPR
Yeah,
rating.
it's so far. I was
Whereas
like,
all he would have
what?
had to do is hit home. Like, once he signed into the pickleball tournaments website, hit home, and then his profile comes up with his DUPR rating, with his doubles, with his singles, and then if he scrolls down further, it'll show all of his stats.
Mhm.
Right? Like, and this was kind of like the same conversation we had when it came to private facilities, where people were like, oh, well, we want to support clubs, so I don't want to go to that private facility, I want to support the club. I'm like, a private entity has already done the work, they've spent the money, they've done the research, they've developed this program. Why aren't we using it? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was like when Ray's Athletics first got built, and no one was, and at first, like, no one was going to them and booking a tournament. Like Luck of the Irish did, and I know St. Albert did, and stuff like that. I was like, but before that, I was like, why aren't we using this? Everyone was like, oh, well, we want to support clubs. I'm like, get the club to book it out. Basically, what the Yellowhead did with like Luck of the Irish, get them to book out the place and go that way through it. I'm like, this private entity already spent the money, built the thing.
Mhm.
Why aren't you using it? Why are we waiting for clubs or waiting for Pickleball Canada to resort to have, let's be honest, volunteers go through and get the grants, go through and do all this work off time because they have other jobs that they do. Like, well, I guess a lot of them are retired because there is a lot of older players on a lot of these boards. So, for example, I'm on the Pickleball Alberta board. I work a job like five to 7 days a week sometimes because it's an on-call job. So like all my stuff for Pickleball Alberta is volunteered, and like, yeah, I went and revamped a bunch of the social media stuff for Pickleball Alberta. I on the board meetings I can make, because sometimes the board meetings are early in the day, and I'm like, guys, I work, I can't make those, but it's like that's all volunteer work. I'm like, so someone's gonna put all this extra effort in to do this like trial run on keeping this dead rating system going, when it's just like, hey, how about we just partner up with DUPR and let them run it?
Mhm.
Like, so let's save us all the headache and like the thousands of hours that we're going to put in free of charge, right? Like, we're making our volunteers who get on these boards and stuff do all this extra work for no reason. It's like, get them to go talk to DUPR, sign some type of partnership where we can use it as a discount rate. We promote them. Maybe they throw some money into like the nationals or the provincial events, right? Like, then we can
Mhm.
offer more prize money, get the pros showing up to all these events, right? Like, I don't understand. It's like backwards thinking, trying to keep this rating system alive when there is a perfectly good rating system readily available for us to use, that honestly all the major events are already using.
Yep.
And like I said, yes, it has its flaws. But you know what? If you make that the main one for everybody, then it's like, okay, well, they're not competing with anyone. Now they can work on fixing those little glitches,
Mhm.
right? So it's frustrating as heck. Like, I appreciate the effort here, Pickleball Canada, but come on, it's right there. And I feel like I'm like, it's like that old man who yells at
Yeah.
clouds, but like I'm the young guy saying, no, this is the techno, like, either that or like it's a person who like is trying to write out a 1,000-word essay with a pen and a paper. I'm like, here, this computer will do it for you in like 5 minutes. You just type
Yeah.
it out, right? And then you can email it and not like regular mail it. But it's just like, oh, it's frustrating.
I know. Definitely.
All right, before we go, we have another edition of Blind Ranking. Are you ready, Vic?
Let's go.
All right, so this time the topic is worst type of rec players. So 1 will be the worst, 5
Mhm.
will be the least worst. Okay.
Okay, sure. Let's see that.
All right. So we have swings at every out ball.
That's not too bad. I'll put it 2. No, sorry, I'll put it 4 because you
4,
want to the
okay.
least, right?
Yeah. Bad line calls.
I have to say, I actually want my partner to have a bad line course, right? Right?
And we're specifying that this is rec, not tournament.
Right. I don't know, right? I'll put that as 5 because actually I don't really care. Even though I'm ref, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Even if I'm ref, I don't really care if they have a bad line calls.
All right. The player coach.
Yes, that can be
Coaches their partner constantly.
that can be annoying. I'll put it 2.
ISO's the good players.
That's super annoying. That's 1.
1. All right.
What's
All
my
right,
last
so your
one?
middle one, which is right in the middle of the pack, uses 5 different types of paddles.
That's okay. I don't mind. I'm using 10. So what does that
I know.
does it matter? Hey, well, I was playing on.
I honestly think you nailed that list. I think that's a perfect list. Like, yeah,
It
bad
is.
line calls and rec isn't that big of a deal. Same thing, swings at every out ball. Depends on what level you're playing with. If you're mixing with lower levels, not a big deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, but definitely the most annoying is icing out like a good player. Like if you're the higher level player and you're being nice and you're playing with some of the lower level players, so maybe help them develop, and then they just don't hit the ball to you. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's super annoying because like, why am I showing up then?
Yeah, and then the player coach is annoying. Like unless they're asking for your input,
Yeah.
that's super annoying. And then the changing of the paddles, honestly, in rec doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just
me. It's just give it to me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I actually do. I actually do that during my some of my matches because like I'm still a competitive person regardless in rec. Like I want to win. I was like, okay, I'll change paddle, and then everyone just look at me. Victor is changing paddles again. There we go.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I think you nailed that list. That's okay. Victor's got one perfect list, I think. Obviously, last podcast list definitely wasn't the perfect list, but
No, like those paddles were terrible. Like the way you mentioned it was terrible. Like the order you mentioned it was terrible. I can't do anything about that anyway. Well, again, for everyone, paddle matters. If you follow the PPA, Federico Saskert that made it to 2 finals now with his Yola, now his Adidas. See that?
Yeah,
Paddles matters.
yeah, exactly. All right. All right, I think that's it for this one. We will be back in what is it? Actually, our first thing we'll be back for is the live stream of the draft.
Mhm.
And then we'll be recording right after, and then that video will come out probably a day or 2 after the draft itself, where we do a full reaction to the draft.
Will you do a recap of your Vernon tournament?
We can probably talk about it in the recap for the draft, like
Yeah, sure.
when we do the draft recap. I'll cover it really quick, and same thing with the London Smash one when we recap that. Of course, follow us on Instagram where we post the results on there. We posted the results for the Montreal one over the weekend. It was funny. I got a bunch of messages saying, "Oh, geez, where'd you even find that?" And I'm like, a lot of internet sleuthing is what I did. So no, not really. It was just on the Fango app, which is what they're using for the showdowns. If you actually click on the event in there, it actually shows you the brackets and the results and stuff on there, so you can actually follow it live, just as if it was like pickleballtournaments.com and stuff like that. So
I'm just wondering if the London one they'll be streaming live because they had been streaming the ARA tournament live anyway, so maybe they will stream. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it because it'll probably be because it's at the Smash complex. So maybe keep an eye on the Smash's Instagram or the CNPL's Instagram and see if they're doing a live stream of that. They got enough stuff there. I wouldn't be surprised if they do some live streaming there.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, so we'll work out the systems of how we're gonna do our Instagram live. I'm gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do that, whether it shows split screen or not. I have never done an Instagram live where I'm the one running it before, so me and Vic might do a quick test run to see how that works. But
Yeah,
and
let's
also,
try that.
but yeah, so we'll be watching the YouTube channel, the CNPL YouTube channel for the actual draft, and then you can follow along with us on Instagram and react with us. And then as soon as we're done the live stream, me and Vic will jump right in, do our reaction video, or our reaction episode, and then we'll post that like within probably like, so that's the draft is on like a Wednesday, I think, or a Tuesday. So then the
Let
video
me
will
check.
be up on the Thursday or Friday. I want to say it's the
Yeah.
4th is the draft.
If it's the 4th on Sunday, right? No, it's Friday. Sorry. Let's take a look. Let's confirm.
Oh yeah, it is. I think it's the 4th.
Let's confirm.
That's what I get for not writing it down.
Schedule update. There we go. No, it's on the 2nd. April 2nd is the draft.
All right.
So means
so
it's still a
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It is indeed on the Wednesday, but on April the 2nd.
Okay, so yeah, April 2nd is when so we'll do the live stream on the 2nd, watching the draft. Tune in with us for that, and then probably our reaction will probably be up by the 4th after some editing and stuff, because that stuff takes a couple minutes. But yeah, super excited. So yeah, by the time we meet up with you guys again, me and Irene will be back from Vernon. Hopefully we do really well there. There's some good teams there now.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. There's 3 teams I'm excited to play, but I know it's going to be a tough road. There's the one team of Brad Chapman, Kim Layton, Anna Deshenko, and Chris Lane.
Ouch.
So that'll be fun. Then there's the team of Casey Rogers, Matt Sadola, Isabel Tan. I want to say it's Chris Ross is the other. I've never played against Chris Ross, but I've played. But I've obviously Casey Rogers and Matt Sadola pros last year. Isabel Tan was right behind Irene in the rankings last year at the Plains, so she's a very, very good female player.
Nice.
And then the third team probably is the other team from Bird. It has Joel Pelche, Jacob, Mikkel Hartman, and Ava.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that one because that should be a good matchup. And me and Irene's teammates are Cameron and Caitlin Hockey, who Victor, you would have seen them on the weekend. They got bronze in the 4-5 for mixed.
Oh, I don't recall. Maybe I didn't do mix. I did the gold medal 4-5. I think I didn't do the bronze medal. Anyway.
Oh yeah, but no, yeah, they're me and Irene have played them before. They're a young couple from Whitecourt who've been on the rise. Like I think
Nice.
when we first played them, they gave us a really good push. And then we beat them, but ever since then they've been going to tournaments and just moving up the ranks like consistently. It's almost like watching me and Irene like 2 years ago, just moving up the ranks, except minus 10 years.
Minus 10 years.
Yeah. So they're going to be teaming with me and Irene at the Vernon event. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
And yeah, so we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks' time for the draft, and then wow, do we get into full swing there between minor league pickleball, CNPL stuff? Wow, we're gonna be really full, and we do have. It's not quite ready for me to announce yet. By the time we do the live stream on Instagram, we'll either have something out, or you'll follow our Instagram accounts. I might have an announcement on there as well for we might have a secondary podcast coming onto our network. So
nice.
So super excited for that.
I know what it is, but I can't say anything.
Vic knows what it is. I want to make sure everything's like nice and like proper before we do the full announcement for it. So
Gotcha.
The little hint is behind my my left shoulder here. If you were looking at my setup, there's something new there. But
yep.
All right, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks as always, Vic.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks everyone for tuning in.